Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh.
It is episode Ocho. Welcome, friends and family and random people that we don't know.
Yeah.
This week we have our good buddy Heath Dunn on the podcast.
Yep.
Happy to be here.
Well, we're not happy to have you, but
I
you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. First time y'all hung out since the wedding?
It's good to see you. But
Yeah, that's what busy people do.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So also just up top, wanted to put in the podcast. We have a way now for you to send in either a voicemail message or a video.
That you didn't tell me about. Till
Yeah,
right now.
just text it to us at 205-523-5934.
That's Josh's
and,
personal cell phone number.
No, it's
So
just a Google Voice
yeah, I got
that
one.
I set up. I don't know. But yeah, Heath, tell us a little bit about yourself.
sure. I've known Josh for several years now. We
Yeah.
are both firefighters and went to school together.
EMT.
EMT and
Oh,
firefighting
and then fire
school.
college.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
we know each other.
You
And,
from D-Mob?
no,
Also a lot younger
Yeah.
than me.
I'm 10 years younger than Josh.
Yeah,
and,
aren't we all though?
yeah.
Oh, Grampy over there.
And I remember when we were
gosh.
Paul Josh.
when the first day of EMT school, I saw Josh, and he looked like the straight up the oldest man I've ever seen.
Yeah.
God.
And the teacher asked us to raise our hand if we were of a certain age. And finally, it got down to Josh, who hadn't raised his hand yet. And
Which I was
that's when
only
I
like
knew.
I was only like 26 at the time too.
Yeah, but
so
that-
it
we
wasn't
were a
like,
bunch of 19-year-olds.
yeah, y'all were a bunch
You're
of.
aging like fruit
youngins.
though, man.
Yeah.
Well, they say men start to look better the older they get.
Who says that? Ugly men?
Probably. Probably. I don't know. I am worried about my hairline. If that's
Yeah.
any.
Yep.
Ugh,
Oh, that's funny.
I hate that.
I'm worried about mine, too.
Yeah.
So
Oh, y'all don't
No,
know
we.
nothing
Yeah.
Hey,
about
no. Okay. Because I wear a hat all the time.
That don't mean nothing.
Look at this.
Yeah, you're getting back
Look at
there.
this.
Ooh.
Look at this. That big old W right
mine's
there.
not quite that bad, but I'm also 10 years younger, so I've
Yeah.
got time to catch up to
Yeah, you got a little
being
time.
quite
Yeah.
that bad.
That's so funny. I've already told Anna as soon as I start getting the friar tuck or the horseshoe,
Yeah.
it's all gone.
That's what
The
I'm told.
cul-de-sac.
I'm on yes.
With
I'm
mine,
cue
at
balling
least, it goes widow's peak, so I don't have the bald patch in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
If that was the case, I'd be so depressed
Yeah.
all the time.
Bailey Brothers. Have you seen his?
Yeah, he looks.
This is a
bad.
guy that we went to fire college with.
Mm.
He's about your age, right?
Yeah, he's my age.
But he's full on balding back here.
when you look at him from the front, though, he looks
He was great.
normal.
Yeah, but from the back,
It's not. Is he tall?
no.
See, that's where they get you.
Yeah.
If you're tall, there ain't nothing but the bird's gonna see how
Yeah.
thin it is up top.
Nobody but the birds in your ego.
You walking around at 5'7", 5'7" and 3/4. Most people can see the top
Yeah.
of my head. And
Yeah,
it's,
well,
it's getting
but
thin.
I mean, it don't look bad. I don't know. Would you rather thin or would you rather like, because when you say thin, you're thinning out like all over for the
No,
most part?
just the crown.
Just the crown? Okay. I was about to say,
Yep.
would you rather, because with us, the widow's peak stuff, it just starts like receding back.
I'm
like
just
I'm
in
not really
reverse.
thinning
Yeah.
anywhere. It's just, I don't have hair here anymore.
I guess I'd rather do mine because
I would too.
at the end you'll notice it
Yeah.
the most, and
By
y'all
that
are getting
point,
it
you're
right.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're already there.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But
You know, when I was 20, I already had a deep widow's peak
Yeah. Same.
and had to cover it up. So
Same. Yep.
do y'all know why do they call it that?
don't have any idea.
That kind of stuff always intrigues me.
Why
Where
don't
phrases
you
came from?
Google that real quick, and then I'll talk about. So we got our first podcast review that I just thought was hilarious today. I know, slow clap.
Congratulations, guys.
We finally got it after 7 episodes. Somebody thought it was nice enough to leave a comment. So they is a podcast review on Apple Podcasts. This was 21 hours ago, so it wasn't that
Heck
long
yeah.
ago.
No. Not
Very
even a day.
entertaining, comparable to Rick and Bubba for their generation.
If
To
you don't-
me, the thing that was funny was just for their generation. Like,
Yeah, well, there's 27 years between us.
Yeah, but it's just
So that's a pretty big generation.
whenever I think about like for your generation, it's like, oh, I feel like that person should be dead already.
Wait, what?
Like if somebody was like, you're the Benjamin Franklin of your generation, it's like I imagine that person should be dead if I'm the next one.
Oh,
Like he's out.
They're a little
They're still the
preemptive
Rick and
with.
Bubba.
Yeah, they're still the
Gotcha.
Rick and Bubba. Yeah, they're not they're washed up or anything.
What I think they mean is you're two Southern gentlemen
Yeah, who talk.
That talk, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
in that fact, you are very similar to Rick and Bubba.
yeah,
You're
we're
also
very
both
similar.
Caucasian men,
We are.
which is
That is that is something. Also, last week we had a TikTok of a comedian, and he actually commented. His name is Drew Harrison, funny guy that talked about the water towers and how they work, which still don't know how that is. But he said, "Thanks, guys. I drive a Subaru though," because we talked about him like he's gonna be that guy that drives like
Older
an old
red
F-150. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "I drive a Subaru." Haha. So.
Where's he
a
from?
Subaru.
Yeah.
Granted, I had an Outback
I think he's from
back
like
in the day.
North Carolina or somewhere around
that
there.
makes sense.
I don't know.
I feel like a Subaru is a very
Yeah.
particular
Yeah.
group.
I had
of
a
people.
Well, he's he's super southern sounding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we said
Maybe he'll
was
come
that,
on the podcast
that
sometime.
he looks like there's every person had this guy in their
Graduating
their
class.
Bigger.
If from the South. I don't know about
Yeah, from the
I don't know about Mexico.
yeah.
They probably didn't have that guy.
Did they graduate in Mexico?
I don't know what
That's
they
a
did.
great
Have
question.
graduating class.
That's a great
to
question.
even
I have no idea if they even I assume they have schools. I don't know enough about other cultures. No, like
Mexico?
yeah, I just don't know. Are there schools down there?
probably to a certain age, then
Like
you gotta,
Yeah.
Brazil,
you
do
gotta
they
get
have
to work.
schools?
Yes.
I don't know. I just don't know.
You talking
I'm
about
not-
like getting your master's, or are you talking about elementary school?
I'm
Yes.
talking about I just don't know.
They've got colleges.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is a college in Mexico?
College.
Like, name one. Like
The university.
of Alabama.
University of New Mexico.
No,
But how would you say it if you were there?
it's the University of Mexico City. It's their capital city. It's a huge university
Really?
or college or
Yeah.
whatever it is in Spanish.
I'm just gonna have to
Yeah.
take your word for it because
Yeah, I just don't
Yeah.
know. I just don't know anything about
Yes.
Mexico.
They're
I just don't. What? I mean, that's not. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just. Do they have? I don't know.
ignorance.
you're the one saying. it.
Yeah,
But
ignorance.
in a you know,
Yeah, I know they have colleges in Africa because I knew somebody from Africa and they went to college in Africa. But if I wouldn't have known that person, I'd be like, I don't know if they have colleges in
You're
Africa.
trying real hard to dig yourself out of that hole.
Not
That racist
really.
hole.
Not really. Have you found Widow's Peak yet?
Yeah, waiting
Okay.
on you to get
Let's-
through
let's
your,
hear it.
your,
Let's hear it.
your rant
Let's hear
about
it.
Spaniards. The term stems. This is we're talking about Widow's Peak
Yeah.
and what it means. Now this is Wikipedia, so do with it what you want. The term stems from the belief that hair growing to a point on the forehead is suggestive of the peak of a widow's hood, is an omen of early widowhood. The use of peak in relation to hair dates around 1833.
So it originated as for women.
No, it was just
a
a
hood that a widow would have worn.
back then. Apparently, a widow, especially an early widow,
Mm-hmm.
had some kind of outfit she had to wear around town,
Like a hood or something.
and it resembled a widow's peak like that.
Yeah.
Resembles. I'm just telling you what the internet said. I don't know.
Well, that's weird.
I don't have one, so I've never thought about it. But
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, we do.
yeah,
We're
we all have our
balding.
own crosses to bear.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, some of it's is early onset diabetes, and some of it's widow's peak. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No comment.
comment.
Oh, whoever left us the cool review on
Yeah.
Apple, who are you?
Yeah, because I have no idea. Their
don't read
username is just a bunch of
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
Garble.
don't be reading
See, what I
people's
want to
stuff.
know is this person someone that you know personally?
It's
I would say
I don't-
likely.
They're
I hope
cl-
it's not. though.
they're close because most people don't just know Rick and Bubba
yeah.
True.
if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not
They've gotta
from
be
here or
around the
from
South.
Birmingham,
Yeah.
Alabama.
I'm, in a very cynical way, I feel like this may be a person that you know trying to
trying to help us
you know,
out.
make your feelings.
Oh, make her. Well,
Make you feel
the
better.
problem there is we don't have friends like that.
That's true.
Right. Yeah. Unless it's my wife catfishing us.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of
Y'all have
positive
a
friends.
very good friend and supporter who left a wonderful comment on episode 7's YouTube video, and
Yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Yeah,
that
that
was
was
a
Heath
glowing
Dunn.
review if I've ever heard one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't a podcast review.
Username
an Apple.
Heath Dunn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It wasn't an Apple podcast review though. So
Yeah.
That's fine.
yeah.
We'll take them where we can get them.
Oh, absolutely. Any
Yeah.
comments? And that's kind of honestly, I hope some people start leaving some voicemails and some
Yeah.
video messages because that would be funny
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Leave them if you think something's funny. Talk about it. If you don't, then
If you need some wisdom, some middle class wisdom,
yeah,
aggressively medium
yeah.
wisdom.
If you're
Ask us
rich and
questions.
you're asking us which boat you should buy,
Yeah.
honestly, send that too because I'd love to just
Yeah.
ruin your boat ideas.
Yeah.
Tell you probably need to buy a 1987 Glastron.
If you buy a boat from a dealership,
You're rich.
yeah, I can't
Absolutely.
help
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
you. But if you need like,
Do you
help
think our
finding
fans
one
are
to
boat
fix up,
buying people? I don't.
Not new boat,
Yeah.
old boat maybe. But it's kind of like the strawberry picking episode. Maybe some rich people like want to see what
Oh, they're trying to relate to their employees,
yeah,
probably.
so they're watching us
Uh-huh.
and they're like,
We're
what
teaching.
boat should I buy?
Yeah.
Let us know. Drop it in the comments.
I like it.
So one of the first things that we were going to talk about this week was, Lee, you brought this up about what you're scared of as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. It's dumb.
Uh-huh.
So,
I think everybody's is.
Oh, yeah.
You're not thinking logically.
little kid, not real little.
Mhm.
Whenever Signs came out, Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, Aliens in the Cornfield, scared me to death.
Mhm.
If you remember, when they're in the basement towards the end and the little boy with asthma backs up to that wall and then big old fingers clamp
Oh,
around
yeah.
him,
Yeah.
I was done. But it's not aliens that scared me. My
Just
room,
fingers.
my room had 2 big windows in it,
Yeah.
and my bed was in the corner underneath both of them.
Some trees.
Crickets.
Crickets.
But hear me out.
Okay.
Crickets, if they're just doing cricket stuff, looking
Yeah.
for a cricket girlfriend, what have you, they're chirping.
Yeah. Them chirpings.
When something big gets near them, they clam up. So if I was laying in my bed about
And then
trying to
all
go
of a
to
sudden they
sleep
went
and they all
dead.
stop,
yeah.
there's something at my window.
Yeah. They probably just found a mate.
Right. Well, I was
And
a
started,
child.
Yeah.
So,
cricket
but
sex.
I'd lay in my bed, man, keep them crickets going until I fall
Yeah.
asleep. But when they
That's
stop,
funny. Yeah.
something scared them, it's going to scare me too.
Yeah. This wasn't the most thing that I was scared about when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I remember going to my grandmother's house and she had 2 beds in her room, like one for her and then one for us whenever we'd come visit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was laying in bed and I used to sleep with the covers over my head. That's just the way
Of
that I
course you did.
slept.
That's so weird.
Oxygen deficiency probably led to
Yeah.
some
And
some
now we
stuff.
see what happened.
Yeah, but
Here we
I
are.
thought there was a bear in the room because of how she was snoring.
Uh,
And it just like, I'm like 4 or 5 years old, I guess,
I
just
get it.
shivering in the covers. Just 'cause I thought there was a bear outside
Grandma.
from grandma snoring.
You're probably hallucinating from the carbon
Probably,
monoxide, dioxide.
I don't know. He's a paramedic.
Die.
Yeah.
Yeah. You start sucking that in for 8 hours, you'll
Yeah,
probably hear
there's probably
bears.
some of that.
Hear some bears too.
Yeah. So,
That's funny.
Heath, what were you scared of as a kid?
Man,
Don't just say like spiders or something.
Yeah.
no. Well, I was really afraid of frogs, but that is not. Just didn't want to touch. My
yeah,
cousin
yeah.
used to throw them at me when I was little,
Mm.
and I think that led to that. But no, I used to.
Because they're slimy?
No,
Or you're worried about warts
I
from
think
their
I was
pee?
worried about warts, but just
Huh.
I,
They're
it-
just weird creatures that
It
you
was
don't
just
know
a
nothing
whole.
about. Yeah.
It was a whole conglomeration of things between the texture and the fear of the warts, I
Yeah.
guess, and because. But no, I was when I was pretty young, probably to the beginning of my memory, my dad had these DVDs that were some sermons about the Big Bang, which it was obviously a sermon talking about how the Big Bang is false,
Right.
right? Because we grew up in a Christian home.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I heard, I just was putting them in one day because I didn't have anything else to watch, and hearing about the Big Bang and the rapture and all these things was so confusing to
Yeah.
me, and I thought that the Big Bang was imminent.
Oh, it
it
was
was gonna
coming.
happen.
Yes, that we were about.
We're waiting on
We were
the
about to be
bang.
blown up, and I would pray every night
Yeah.
that God would wait until I had died already
Oh, that's so
before He
funny.
did
Before
the
he
Big
blew
Bang.
it up.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I was afraid of
That's a pretty,
cosmic
like-
powers.
yeah.
Yeah. But on a more
Which-
relatable level,
Y'all would essentially we're both scared of cosmic powers because the crickets
That's true.
stopping.
I said mine. It wasn't just aliens, though.
okay,
Just a
I was
beast
just yeah,
in the-
just something
Yeah.
that's outside your window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but no, but
more
a
relatable.
more relatable one
Mhm.
is I was deathly afraid of needles until very recently.
I'm not a. Which
Yeah.
there's not a ton of people that are just a fan of needles, and
Oh,
those
no,
people.
But like to the point of making me sick to where I would throw up.
Okay.
Of
Knowing you were about to go get a
knowing I was
shot
about
or
to get
something.
one. If
Yeah.
I was ever sick, I would beg my mom just to keep me at home and let me get better.
What about sewing a button on some pants? That kind of
No, no,
needle?
like
So just
shots.
medical.
Yeah,
Just medical.
Okay.
in a medical sense. But now that I've gone through all the medical training that I've had to go to and
Yeah.
giving shots and IVs and things, man, it doesn't bother me at all anymore. But that is a very recent.
Yeah. Very recent.
Yeah, but started
not
when I
scared
was.
of.
So
Yeah.
you couldn't.
Really?
You wouldn't watch a shot at the doctor.
No, I would clam up and faint. Almost
Even
every
now?
time. Up until about, I mean, when I first started with the fire department in 17, I had to go get a physical. The first time I've ever gone to the doctor to get any blood work done, probably because of this, and I laid down on the table for her to start my IV to draw my blood to do my blood work, and then I woke up after it was over.
Oh.
And this is the first
That's a
time
fun
anybody's hearing
thing.
about this.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a
So-
fun thing to just.
Hey, we appreciate you.
So I clammed up to the
feeling that
point
safe to
of
talk to
blacking out. Yeah.
Huh.
Terrified.
Dang.
Yeah.
I gotta watch them. Like if I go to the docking box and I got a cold or something, and they give you the antibiotic and the steroid, I just want to make sure everything's going all right.
That's impressive just for
But-
like a flexibility standpoint.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
That's what was it? Look back at it. Is that what the people are saying nowadays
yes.
about your butt? Look back at it.
There
Yeah.
must be some of that.
Yeah, it's TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
I'm fully immersed in TikTok now.
I may be a lot younger than you in age, but in spirit,
In spirit.
I feel like I'm a lot older.
You've surpassed me.
yes.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay trendy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so my widow's peak don't.
Whatever you got to do
I
to
don't know.
compensate.
Yeah. So mine, this is just as ridiculous. We had in the middle of Demopolis, downtown, there was this big monument, and there was a statue in the middle of it with like a soldier, and then
A Confederate flag and
it was a Confederate soldier, but
Is it still there?
No, it got taken down. Well, so a police car hit it and caused it to fall over, and then they were like, "Well, we're just going to leave it down now," which is a smart move.
yeah.
Anyways, so there was a cannon. There were 4 cannons on all 4 corners, and they would face out into the streets.
Yeah.
And every time we would drive by it as a kid, I would tighten up because I thought it was going to shoot off
Huh.
right when we were going to pass it,
Just at any moment.
just at any moment. So that's what I was
You
scared
ever
of.
ask about it?
I was about to say,
Ask
your
who?
mom or dad didn't clear that up real quick. The
No, I
first
was
time
just-
it happened.
No,
You just
trying
kept
to-
it internalized.
I kept it internal, yeah, because
You're gonna take care of it yourself.
yeah, absolutely. That's what men do.
Yeah.
Take care of it myself
I guess.
as a 4-year-old.
I-
But yeah, every time I would just clam up, just wince and just hold on because I thought it was going to just fire off a couple of rounds. I was going to die. So, yeah.
scared.
That's the crazy thing about these fears from when you're a kid and how they make no sense.
Just how irrational they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how
Yeah,
different
yeah.
they are from one kid to another too. Because I would stick my head in the cannon
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Yeah. I would never have done that. That was too. And I mean,
I just
nothing provoked that.
I just don't know why you wouldn't just be like, "Hey, Dad, are those real?" No, okay.
Yeah, and it could have been that one day when I was younger, they said, "Oh yeah, that's real," or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably thinking this
isn't going to
he's-
scar him
he's
for the rest
smart
of his
enough to know
life.
this
Yeah.
is
Or
not true.
thinking about maybe this will get him to just shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, stop talking. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
real. I don't care.
I do that to
Whatever.
you nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of people that do.
Just what can I do to get this guy to shut
Yeah.
up?
Yep. So another thing we were going to talk about was Coke versus Pepsi.
You talking about the easiest decision of all time?
Pretty simple.
Yeah. You just had to wait for the right guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to wait for a guest that.
Because we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Josh and I.
Me and Lee are on the same boat that Pepsi is the way to go.
Now, before we get started on this conversation, I feel like this is also a very childhood thing. Like,
No,
this is probably influenced by what your parents gave you. when
could
you
be,
were a
but
kid.
no, it's not mine.
Yeah, we didn't really have. So what we had when I was growing up was my mom would get whatever was on sale,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so if it was Pepsi one week, we'd get it. If it was Coke the next week, we'd get Coke. So
She
I'm
was
not
just
sure
trying
that
to round you out,
yeah,
well rounded.
my dad drank a lot of Dr Pepper. That's all he drank. So I mean I do like Dr Pepper, but as far as Coke versus Pepsi, Pepsi is 100 times better.
Oh, for sure.
Heath,
Coke?
obviously you'd like Coke better.
I do.
Coke?
Now, I will say that I like Pepsi. That's not the issue.
Yeah, but the
But
preference between the two.
If I had to pick, if they were both sitting here in front of me and I had to pick, it would be Coke.
Hmm.
And you told me earlier that you prefer Pepsi because it's not such a strong.
Coke's
Yeah,
spicy.
Coke's got a
See-
strong, like it's a bite on that. Like
Lot,
I've
yeah.
drank whiskey that had less of a bite than Coke.
Now, a warm Coke
Ooh,
is hard to drink.
I wouldn't
Well,
give
yeah.
my worst enemy
A
a
warm
Coke.
anything's
Yeah.
hard to drink.
But I think Dr. Pepper, of all of the soft drinks, has the worst bite, and I can't stand it.
See,
But to me, Coke doesn't have one, and
Man,
it's,
it's just so. Oof.
Coke is
It's
a
like it
gr-
punches you in the throat when
and
you
I
drink
feel
it.
like a iconic draw to red drinks.
Have you ever looked into that, Josh? That's absolutely true.
What?
I got to see if
Sam's Cola is red. Coca-Cola is red, and
Oh,
these,
yeah, it's
these
a
cola
marketing-
drinks that are red to me. Just I have a memory of them being way better.
It's a marketing thing.
Yeah,
Red. It's a specific color. I think it's fire engine red, maybe.
maybe so.
That is it's a marketing color. Like
Well, to this day, I prefer red is probably my favorite color if I had to pick.
yeah.
So
Well,
Here we go. Hold
if
on, let
we're
me-
talking about just like Coke versus any other, like even Pepsi versus something, I'm going Sam's Cola. I think
if you
it's
had to
the
pick
best.
the best cola,
Yeah, the best cola to me out of like the big brands.
yeah,
I'm going Sam's Cola.
I couldn't dispute that at all. Sam's Cola is delicious.
Sam's Cola tastes a lot like RC to me, which I know
RC.
you like RC.
Yeah, you're not
RC
beating a
and
good
RC is just a southern.
If we're going dark
staple.
cola, if we're going dark cola, and I can have anything,
Yeah.
we're going RC.
Okay.
Second, any brand of root beer.
Really?
That's number 2.
See, I
Then we go Pepsi.
I mean,
I
root
wouldn't
beers,
drink.
I'm
Yeah,
half and half on. Like I like root beers, but I'm not going out of my way to drink a root beer.
Yeah.
Unless I'm at an A&W restaurant. Because
When does that
A&W
ever
have
happen?
restaurants.
Yeah.
Whenever I lived out in Oklahoma, they had them out there, and they had frosted mugs that you could just go up and order a root beer in a frosted mug, and oh my, that was a great root beer.
See,
yeah. If we're going dark cola,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go RC, Pepsi, strictly those types.
Yeah,
RC, Pepsi, Coke.
now see, I think if you were given a blind taste test,
Oh, I'd absolutely know.
I don't think you would.
100%, 100%.
They're not even the same drink.
1,000%.
Pepsi
I'm
and
not-
Coke.
okay,
Out of the can.
Pepsi and Coke, yes. I'm saying between Coke
Oh,
and RC or Coke and,
I think
Sam's
I
Cola.
think I got it.
I think those are so much more
Yeah.
similar.
I think I got it.
To me, a Sam's Cola or a RC is basically a rebranded Coca-Cola.
Well,
I think. Hey, this might be. We talked about like doing like ancillary videos, like off of this. I think that'd be a good one, like a Coke taste test. Just getting all the different Cokes and testing.
blind taste test.
Yeah, blind taste test.
I'll tell you one time, and I believe it was Peyton. I blind taste tested the 3 colors of a piece of candy corn and got it right.
That's impressive.
I'm not even kidding.
Now,
I mean, you got a 1 out of 3 shot of being right.
and once you get one,
Then you're 2. Yeah, then it's 50-50.
Or you just know what they taste like.
Yeah, you've got that, like, your palate is that.
It was whenever that was.
Yeah.
And I don't even like candy corn. I think I was jokingly saying I could do it.
Yeah.
And then they said, we'll do it. And I did it.
Are there 3 different flavors?
Yeah.
in a candy corn?
The top is white. It just tastes like candy.
Okay, just sugar.
Yeah. The orange in the middle, they don't taste like anything specific, but they taste different.
Okay, got you.
if you would have said $1 million, does candy corn's colors have different flavors, or is the piece of candy corn just one flavor? I would have said it's
One
just
One flavor.
That's
Just
dyed
colors.
different.
Well,
You'd have lost $1 million.
I know.
yeah. You'd be
Before
where you are
today.
right now. Yeah.
Before today.
Yeah.
Good thing this happened.
Yeah.
So going along with the Coke stuff too, the other day we went and ate Taco Bell, and Meg grabbed my drink when we were sitting at the table, took a swig of it.
Hate that, by the way.
I do too,
Yeah.
and she knows that, and I think that's half the reason she
Yeah.
does it. But she took a swig of it and just went, I was like, What do you mean, She's like, I just never had it before. I was like, you've never had Baja Blast? Not one time. Nope, never had it. You're insane. Baja Blast is 75% of the reason that I go to Taco Bell.
That's probably high, but yeah.
I said, well, after they got rid of empanadas, it's 75. Before it was about
Yeah.
50. But empanadas went out the door, and now it's 75%.
100% of the reason I go to Taco Bell is because I just love Taco Bell.
Well, Taco Bell's good food for sure, and the little Cinna Delights that they have now too. Ooh.
They are good.
The little puffy
Yeah.
now, you think those haven't been around since Taco Bell opened?
No.
The
You're
swirly
thinking the
ones or the
swirly ones.
Cinnabon ones?
There's a Cinnabon one that's about like this.
I'm talking about the old cinnamon twist.
Oh yeah, no, cinnamon twists are great too.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
That's probably the first thing on their menu
Probably so.
when they open. Yeah.
We went Taco Bell. We
Those
got
things,
cinnamon
yeah.
twists.
Now they'll tear the
it.
roof of your mouth up.
Yeah, it's like some
But-
Captain Crunch or something.
Ooh, you talking about gravel?
Yeah. Well, and so Baja Blast, man, I remember when it was Taco Bell exclusive.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of a guy who had rigged the contraption up to where he had a Taco Bell cup that he had cut a hole in the bottom of it, had a tube that ran
snuck
from
it.
the bottom, all the way through his coat, down, and he had a satchel that just had a bag in there, and he just stood there
Hey.
You'd have to get down
filling
lower
her
than that.
up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
For the gravity. Yeah.
it's pushing though. It's pushing.
No,
Oh yeah.
You get that.
And I commend him.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, but that's that, like people would go to crazy lengths
Oh yeah.
to like get Baja
Well,
Blast.
if you've never had it, what are you doing with your
if you haven't had it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you haven't had Baja Blast before?
and I suggest going to Taco Bell to get your first taste.
Yeah.
because there's something different about their machines.
It's dangerous though, because Taco Bell's hit or miss with refilling them things. You get you a watered down Coke
That's
or a
right.
watered down Baja Blast for your first one.
yeah,
You have to hit it and then give it a taste before.
Yeah,
you
you
go-
got- yeah.
commit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's true.
If you ever see me walk in a Taco Bell and get something to drink other than Baja Blast, take me to the hospital.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Something's happened.
Yeah.
Just know something's off.
Yeah.
I'm either hurt or I'm a hostage or something.
I don't think I've ever been to Taco Bell and not gotten Baja Blast since they introduced it.
Yeah.
I have, but it's because I didn't get a drink.
Oh yeah.
If I get a drink at Taco Bell now, when me and Madison first started dating, she claimed that she did not like Taco Bell, which nearly cost us our relationship because I loved it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But come to find out, she had never tried it.
Yeah.
Now, what parents? What awful parents? It got me choked up a little bit.
I feel that right
What
now.
awful
Oh, yeah,
parents
it's heavy
did
in
not
here.
Yeah.
take their
Yeah, you can cut it with a
child
knife.
to Taco
Yeah.
Bell.
He gets
So
a
she
freedom
had never
conference.
had Taco Bell in general,
Uh-huh.
plus
Never had
no
Baja
Baja
Blast.
Blast.
Yeah.
And
She had never had the restaurant.
no,
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
That's why
she
I
had
thought we were
never.
talking about Baja Blast.
No.
the heart.
The heart.
Taco Bell is my heart, man. But so when we started dating and I found this out, we had to go, and she loves
she's
it.
a convert.
she loves it. She
Yeah.
likes Taco Casa better, but
Well,
What did her parents and her eat?
I don't know.
You've never had Taco Bell?
Yeah.
She didn't until we started dating, and
That's a
so
lot.
I've gotten her and her sisters
so
on Taco Bell.
So this might have something to do with it. How much money did their parents have growing up?
Yeah,
like
They
comfortable?
They bought boats from the dealership.
Oh, they're dealership boat people
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money people. Okay.
Yeah.
So that could factor into a reason why she never had Taco Bell.
Yeah.
They also
'Cause-
lived in Gordo, which
But when you're going to, they didn't like stay in Gordo
No,
to do
no.
stuff.
They
They
just
come to
got electricity in
Tuscaloosa.
Gordo.
Yeah,
not too long
yesterday.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they came to Tuscaloosa a lot for different things.
So I
but-
mean, they've
yeah.
been to Tuscaloosa to
Yeah.
where there was a Taco Bell. So I mean, and if you're coming through town, there's like 4 of them. So
Yeah.
it's not like they're not in abundance, and
No
you
doubt.
have to go out of
Yeah.
your way to go get one.
and it's quick.
Yeah.
Boy, it's quick.
Oh yeah. They got it right there.
Yeah.
I've never waited in line at a Taco Bell drive-through.
No.
Oh, you ain't never been on 15th Street at 2 a.m.
Oh yeah. So that's another. Yeah, that's different.
Boy,
That's different. Yeah,
I
I have.
have.
Now that I think back, I have been there.
they're
but-
busier than Chick-fil-A at that time.
Yeah.
I've had bad waiting experiences at Taco Bell before, but it has never deterred my
Right.
commitment.
You know what you're waiting
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
It's worth the wait.
So me and Meg have had a couple of topics similar to when you and Madison started dating about different things, and Meg will say, "Well, I don't like that," and then when it comes around to it, she does like it. But she doesn't want to
Yep.
eat it. Like we went, so our first week of marriage, we went to the grocery store with each other. Horrible mistake.
No
don't
doubt.
don't recommend that to anybody in your first week of marriage. But
You ain't going to elaborate on that?
it was just a horror. Like we were sitting there going through the aisles, and like she'd pick some bread out, and I'm like, "What's wrong with the dollar bread, a loaf instead of the $6 a loaf bread? Like, do we need the $6 a loaf bread, or can we get by with the $1?" And so she just had very different
Unmet
ideas of.
expectations.
I could talk about
Well,
this all day, and
She just had different ideas of what she likes. Like for me, it's not that big of a deal to get a $1 loaf of bread.
bread's bread.
Yeah, to me, bread's bread. But she had
Yeah.
like, the dude with the guitar on the front of it, Dave's bread or whatever.
Yep. Killer Dave.
Yeah, she's about like
Shout out to
everything
that
that
small
we
business.
were
Local
going
business.
to pick out. I would just be like,
Yeah.
well, do we need the expensive one, or can we get by with the not expensive one? And so, so first week of marriage, go to the grocery store, and I bought some bread. She said, "Well, I don't eat sandwiches." I said, "You don't eat sandwiches
In general?
Yeah, I was like, "You don't eat sandwiches?" She's like, "No, I don't eat sandwiches." All right, whatever. The week later, all the bread's gone. I
done been
hadn't had a lick of the bread.
She got a taste for that sandwich.
Well, she said, "Well, it's not that I don't eat them. I don't like to eat them."
Oh.
Same thing happened with 2 boxes of powdered donuts that I had bought.
Oh, yeah. White ones?
Yeah,
What
she
other kind
said,
are there? Yeah.
"I don't like powdered donuts."
She didn't like it for about 10 sandwiches.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with the powdered donuts. She said, "Oh, I don't like powdered donuts." I said, "Well, that's fine. I'll just eat them." A week later, I've had 3 donuts, and the boxes of donuts are gone. Oh, well, I just don't like to eat them. And then This has been the big one. This one happened This one happened last
Can
night.
you feel him
This
the
one
stress
happened
coming off of him?
last night.
He's just
okay.
oozing with.
I didn't think this was
McDonald's.
the place for this.
Okay.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Okay.
A billion smiles served, or whatever
Yeah.
they say. Meg says, I don't eat McDonald's. This has been for the entirety of our relationship. Okay. We're driving home. We're coming back from my mom and dad's house. There's a McDonald's on the way. We're starving. I said, hey, can we just pull over here and get, yeah, I'm starving. She said, yeah, it's fine. I'm starving. We start driving, and she's eating the burgers. Oh, my gosh, this is so good.
Huh.
This is so delicious. I was like, I thought that it was like the worst thing. Well, no, I just don't like to eat it.
Right. Can we all just say, quit lying and say, McDonald's is great.
Yeah, McDonald's has great food.
Yeah.
It's the same at every fast food restaurant. The quality of the ingredients is the same.
Yeah.
McDonald's might get some crap because, like, I guess just because they're the best or they're the biggest. And people think, oh, well, you can't be that big and serve me $1 hamburger and it's made out of great meat. You're not getting any different at Wendy's.
No. I'm just tired of people
Crapping on them.
I'm tired of people, the look on people's face when you talk about you like McDonald's is like you just said, I like stomping puppies.
So I worked at a McDonald's when I was in high school.
Look at you.
The
Man,
one
I
that
bet
Ronald
was
Reagan went
awful.
to, right?
The one that Ronald Reagan went to, that's correct.
Yep.
And
Got a big
I
gold
still
placard of him up
go
in the
to
nursery.
that McDonald's.
Yeah. I hate that one, by the way.
And see people that I used to work with in there still.
Still?
Yes.
Are they managers?
They were older even then, so
Okay.
I think that
makes
was
more
their
sense.
that was their career choice.
Maybe
which
they
is-
own that one or something. They're the franchisees.
Yeah.
They might be.
Undercover boss. in it
Even
for
though I worked
10
there and
years.
saw the behind the scenes of the
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's, I still go.
Yeah.
So
You know what you're getting into
Yeah.
with me.
But any fast food restaurant is going to be the exact same.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Wendy's has this like bruschetta bun or whatever.
Brioche?
I don't care. It's French.
It was brioche.
Okay, bruschetta.
I'd
No.
be willing to
Bruschetta.
bet even Chick-fil-A, if you worked there, you'd see the same. You know,
Have you ever been behind a Chick-fil-A?
I have, yeah.
It's a sweatshop
on the
back
drive-through.
there. No. I mean, not behind the
they're
building.
literally all sweating.
Behind the counter. It's a
Yeah.
sweatshop. Anna
yeah.
was a manager at one.
Yeah, every restaurant.
She still eat Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
She loves Chick-fil-A.
Anytime she can get her hands on it.
Yeah,
I
which I
can't.
don't blame her.
well,
I like
can't
Chick-fil-A.
stand it.
Also, Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich, fantastic.
That's cool.
It's
good.
fantastic.
You're a little
It's
behind
good.
on that, but that's
Yeah, but we hadn't talked about it.
Look, can we all stop acting like waffle fries are good?
I love them.
I like them if I can get them double fried,
Which
but
they don't
like,
do anymore.
They don't do anymore.
No.
Yeah,
I did not get an
they were
opportunity to try that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic
That's the
double
only
fried.
way I can stomach a waffle
but just
fry.
regular waffle fry, I'm not a fan.
You talking about all that potato?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Just give me some full and a spud, and I'll bake one. There's more potato in waffle
No, I
fries
like
than
a basic fry as well, but
the double crisp,
yeah,
well done waffle fries. I can be okay.
you can
with.
get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get, and this is gonna be ridiculous, but I'm not a huge fan of Chick-fil-A. I don't like paying for Chick-fil-A.
that's what my wife says as well.
You're telling me this chicken sandwich with a run-of-the-mill bun, chicken's good, cool. I like the breading. Wish there's a little more of it. That's fine. And a thing of waffle fries that nobody likes, and I'm paying $8 for that.
It is.
Yeah,
What do you do? What?
yeah. I
Now,
agree.
if we're somewhere and they've ordered some nugget trays, and it's just
'em
help
up.
yourself, I'll clear a whole plate of them.
yeah,
But
old school. What was it Highlands Dream Team
yeah,
Central or whatever they called it? And
Yeah.
they would order big plates of that stuff, and oh my gosh,
if somebody else paid for it, I'll eat it all day. But my money's
Yeah.
worth more than what
Than
they
that.
offer. Yeah, it's about the experience. You're paying for the. I don't care. Make it cheaper and
the
throw it at me.
experience.
and
I
I'll
don't
eat.
care about the
Just your
experience
customer
at a fast food
service
restaurant.
and let me take your tray and
Well, is it,
just lower the price.
so are they talking about the customer service experience as far as are they paying their employees more, or is it they're getting paid the same as the McDonald's people? They're just putting more culture, like
They absolutely are.
like a company culture into it.
This is something I feel really passionate about, and that is I hate that the world has created this idea that people who work in the service industry need to be tipped, and that they have just decided to pay their employees less and rely on me to cover what they need to make instead of just
To pay their employees.
to give their customers good service.
I agree.
Because I didn't pay for you to bring me my sandwich. I paid for the sandwich.
Yeah. Honestly, when I like Glory Bound more now because I don't feel the pressure to tip somebody. Because Glory Bound moved from they had tables and waiters and waitresses to now it's just you go up to the counter and order.
Okay.
That's fine with me. I'll do that
But
1,000
they
times.
still leave a space on the check that you sign
Yeah.
to leave a tip, and that disgusts me.
Well, I don't feel disgusted by that, but like I hate the pressure. Like if a pizza delivery guy, I paid for my pizza to get delivered. I paid for my pizza to get delivered. You shouldn't wait. I shouldn't feel the pressure of you waiting around at the doorstep to give you a tip. Like there's been some awkward interactions between me and a delivery
Like a first
driver.
kiss with a high school girlfriend?
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're just sitting here. Well, what's next?
Just loitering.
Just
waiting on that extra
you gonna-
$1.50.
Yeah, you gonna tip me? Or?
Now, what about this? Try this on for size. The
It's a little snug.
tip system is created for the employees to have what is it? If I'm not working on tips, I have no reason to be a good waitress or waiter.
I understand that idea.
That's the same at any job. You could say that about any job in the world. What reason do I have to be any better of a firefighter than the guy who's making more than me?
But
It's like, well, because you're getting paid to do that job.
Pride.
That's your job.
yeah,
You got hired. You signed on
but
to do a good job.
you're going to pay me minimum wage instead of half plus tips or whatever. Now all I got to do is just enough to not get fired,
Well,
and I'm going to get my money.
What-
But if I'm
what do I
making
want?
$3 an hour and I'm really working off of tips, I'm doing everything I can to get them tips. So you're creating a better system.
I've been to some places that those people were not trying any harder to get tips.
Yeah, then they don't get a tip.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think that the people should have a better, like you were saying, more pride in your job. That do a good job because you got hired to do that job.
That sounds good as a a thought, but you're asking too much of a waitress.
Am I?
In the grand scheme of things, you are.
Why?
Like you're a waitress
good job?
at Buddy's Steakhouse or whatever, and you should have just all this moral integrity to work your best. I mean, I get it. I understand. I
should.
agree. I don't disagree with you.
okay.
But to just say like, "Hey, Cindy, why you need to work your butt off without any incentive to work your butt off other than to feel good about
And
it."
that's this ideology that the world has
Right.
cultivated.
Yeah.
Well,
where you don't have to work that
the
hard.
incentive to
Yeah.
do your job good should be, well, if you don't do your job good, then you don't have a job.
But the restaurants, that's the people that just cycle through those jobs though.
Yeah.
You're not getting the Mother Teresa of waitresses to
Every
work
time,
at
yeah.
your meet and three. It's just not
Yeah,
happening.
I mean,
I get it.
The tip system
Yeah.
to me is just it. To me, it's a way for the employer to get away with something,
But what do you
to
think?
get away with paying somebody less.
Right.
And
But if you take away tips, raise all of them up to minimum wage,
Yeah.
now you got to raise your prices.
not necessarily.
You do.
Well, is it any different for Glory Bound to just put a counter at the front and then they've got runners that go back and forth? Like, I mean, I would do that at every restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm paying for that experience for somebody to bring me my food, I would go somewhere nicer for that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's
go
a
to a
very
nice steakhouse.
aggressively medium mindset when it comes to.
Well, the way to fix that is to make it easy to get raises.
Well, yeah.
And that doesn't happen in food.
Well, no, not in the food service industry.
So then you
But, like,
can't do it. It falls apart.
well, we're also talking about jobs that are minimum wage jobs that, to me, that's just the. We're talking about jobs that are minimum wage jobs that, for a minimum wage job, I think that it's more of a, like, minimum wage job is not a career.
Right.
Minimum wage is a college job
It's an
or a
in-between
high
job, right.
school job or something like that.
It's a stair on the steps. Yeah.
It's not a career. And
learn
so,
good moral
yeah.
work ethic.
So if you're talking about somebody who's raising, look, good on you if, you are this person. But, like, if you're trying to raise a family on a minimum wage job, yeah, that's hard.
Right.
Because that's not what a minimum wage job was created for.
Right.
It wasn't created to sustain a family. So, and that's part of that, like, raise minimum wage. Well, we shouldn't raise minimum wage.
Minimum wage is a stupid concept all in itself, though.
It's stupid to a fact that it's like, well, I mean, somebody who's doing this job should get something out of, like, if they were like, oh, you get $2 an hour.
All right. Hold on. But you gotta let that unfold. If I have to pay everybody $7.25 an hour, they have no reason to work better. And I have no reason to give them raises because I'm mandated to give them this amount of money anyway. But if you take it away and I can pay you whatever you're actually worth, you're either going to bust your butt or leave.
Yeah.
And the people that are fantastic are going to get whatever amount they're worth.
Yeah.
But when you put a mandatory
Yeah.
bottom on it, you take away the incentive to work harder.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I also think that there should be a minimum that is we're talking bare minimum.
We already have that. It's
I know,
minimum wage.
but this is like for that so that people aren't getting exploited. That's to me the reason for that. Like, it's a bare minimum.
But now you're
It's
not
something we've
giving the
decided
employee the opportunity to leave. If I'm like, you're new, I'm gonna pay you $1.50 an hour. If I agree to that and I don't do stuff to leave $1.50 an hour to get up to $2, $2.50, $3, then you're gonna get fired. Nobody's gonna sit in a situation where they're making $2 an hour when they can go to the next fast food restaurant and make more.
Yeah, but $1 an hour.
But you wouldn't
work
stay
for
there.
40 hours and you get $40 at the end of the week.
Of course that's absurd. But you can't just say like, well, they'd get exploited. Well, if they sit there, yeah, they'd get exploited. But that's not the point. You don't sit there.
Which our economy is based off of minimum wage anyway, so things would cost less if that was the way the world worked.
Yeah. And then you would either have a restaurant full of $2 an hour morons, or your restaurant would have 4 or 5 guys that have worked their way up because they bust their butt. Yeah. But when you make me pay everybody a certain amount, I'm not looking for better employees or.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I would look for good employees no matter what.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure there's some country out there that's tried it that way and it probably didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not America.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't work. Anything America does works.
Yeah. Obviously.
Speaking of things in America, I think we can talk about this really quick. The shooting that happened back in February.
Amuad Aubury.
Amuad Aubury. So, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, back in February there was a black male who was shot
In Georgia.
And he was shot by 2 white guys. In the initial police reports, it said, and I could be wrong on this, I believe it said that they were at their house when the shooting occurred. And Amuad was trying to get into their house, or there was a struggle with the gun or something like that. Just this past week, a video surfaced of
dash cam footage from a car behind them.
Yeah, dash cam footage from the Uber driver. There was an Uber driver that had a dash cam that what actually happened was Amuad was jogging down the street. The son and the dad were in their truck,
Both grown.
both grown men.
No better grown.
Yeah,
Like,
we're driving down the road. They stopped the truck in front of Amuad, tried to stop him. Amuad tried to run around them, and then the dad, that's a reflux. The dad. So also to me, this is part of the story that is very telling. Is the dad was in the cab of the truck the entire time driving to, and then the son was in the bed of the pickup truck, like with both hands on the cab of the
like
truck
a century.
Yeah, and so they tried to stop him, verbally stop him. Somebody drives up to me and tries to stop me on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away from him too. So he tries to get away from him. He couldn't get away from him, so he starts to fight, which I absolutely would have done if I can't get away from you.
Yeah.
Then my second option is to try and
It's the
get you
definition of
off
fight
of
or
me.
flight.
Yeah. And so with that, there were 3 or 4 shotgun shots. The dad had a shotgun as soon as he got out of the truck. The son had a pistol in the back of the truck. They shot Amuad 4 times, and then Amuad tried to run away. As he takes 1-2 steps, falls to the ground, dead.
Yep.
Um,
And they claimed citizen's arrest.
yeah, they claim citizen's
and then
arrest.
self-defense.
Yeah.
For the firing
Yeah.
of the shots.
There is and they also claimed that there were multiple break-ins around this time, which was not correct. There were not
Right.
multiple break-ins. There was footage that was released today of Amuad going into a house that was under construction. Never took anything. Was just looking around, which as
And
I've
even if
done
he
that.
did.
But I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that is you're just curious, walking around. Oh, I wonder what this house is going to look like.
Yeah.
If I'm on a run and I'm jogging and I need to take a break, there's a house right here.
Yeah.
It's under construction. Let me just go in and look at it.
Nobody's out here because we're
Yeah.
social distancing, all that stuff.
Yeah. Let me just go take a that's
He's
I
trying
don't
not to be bored.
that's not a thing that
Yeah.
somebody should say, well, this guy there's no reason unless you are in fear for your life that you should shoot another person.
Yeah. And if you take actual like firearm safety training, you don't draw
Yeah,
unless you're ready to
shooting
kill them.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's been a big uproar and
The dad was a retired police officer.
should have known better.
Does know better.
Yeah, does know better, but chose to act in a way. And whether or not, I mean, you've got to assume in this case that there was some racism involved in this. And to me,
Yeah.
there probably was. But
But we don't
regardless
know-
of that,
you don't know that.
yeah. But
It
regardless,
doesn't matter. If they were all
regardless
blue,
of- Well, so there was also some footage that the dad was at a KKK rally
See,
recently.
I've only seen the dash cam of the
Yeah.
fight. That's all I've
Yeah.
seen.
So there
What
was
part
a
of the world was this in? that
This
they're
is
still
Georgia.
going on?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Where in Georgia?
North Atlanta?
I can't remember the exact.
That blows my mind that this kind of stuff still goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so that brings up another. So what you said earlier when you were in the truck was very telling too. These guys,
Right.
what exactly were your words? I don't want to misquote you.
So, if y'all don't know, me and Josh are white. So is
Yeah.
Heath.
If you haven't seen the YouTube of this
Yeah.
podcast,
If you don't know what we look
you
like,
hadn't-
you can probably assume what we
from
look
our
like
voices,
by our
Yeah.
twang.
yeah,
I just had the thought that watching this video
Mm-hmm.
disgusted me.
yeah, absolutely.
Even if they were all blue.
yeah,
it doesn't
wouldn't
matter
matter
the
what
color.
color it was.
Yeah.
yeah,
But it dawned on me that, like, over the past 5-6 years, there's been an uptick in police shootings of minorities. Justified or not, there's 100 of them. You can make your call on all those. I would tend to side with police officers, which that doesn't even count here because those guys are normal people who we don't citizens arrest people anymore.
yeah,
If you see that happening, call the cops.
yeah. Let them
You
take
can
care of
trail
it.
him if you want to,
I'd like
Yeah.
to know
just to keep eyes on it. But like, where is it your job to do this and to do it that poorly?
And to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he had a backpack full of gold of jewelry
Yeah.
from the neighborhood, you
Burglary
kill the
is
kid
not a
over
reason
it?
to kill somebody. Yeah.
And then self-defense, you come at me with a shotgun
Yeah.
and
You expect me not to try and get you off of me
Yeah.
or to grab the shotgun?
yeah.
Yeah. And those guys, the two guys, and granted, we're running off of what the facts that
Yeah.
we have.
That's all we have at the moment. Yeah.
The fact, based on the facts that we have at the moment, both of those guys should.
Hang them from the tallest tree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's ridiculous. That's not the way that people should act towards other people.
You can say premeditated even.
absolutely.
You're
You're
hunting
driving
this kid?
two guys in a truck with guns going after somebody is premeditated. Like, you don't carry a gun anywhere unless you aim to shoot and kill whatever
Yeah.
that is.
You can yeah.
I mean, if
To draw it.
yeah,
You can
exactly.
take it.
Yeah,
Even if their intent was citizen's arrest, in what world that we live in now is citizen's arrest still a legal thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can a citizen arrest another citizen
Yeah.
legally?
I don't. I
With a
think that's
firearm.
just. I think that's
yeah.
yeah. With a
Now,
fire.
if you see a burglary and you tackle the kid and call the cops,
Sure.
and you're just holding him down till the police get
Yeah.
there,
But if you say,
But
hey,
also-
I suspect that you might have broken
Well-
in and burglarized someone.
yeah.
Also,
That-
though,
yeah.
that's another that's another thing that, like, even if I saw somebody that seemed like it was a burglary,
Right.
I don't. Do you know how many times I've broken into my own house,
Yeah.
like throughout the years that, like,
Yeah.
lock the keys in the house, don't know where the keys are, key don't work, key broke off in the door, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna run up to somebody. That could have been that kid's. I think the kid was like 26, 23,
I
something
don't
like
remember.
that.
I didn't see that.
That could have been his house that they were building.
Yeah.
That he was just going to check up on the. Well, instead of having a conversation with somebody and talking to them,
Yeah.
you just drive up and, like, I don't know why the image of the son in the back with standing in the back
Yeah.
is so, like, it feels like every movie from, like, the 80s or 90s when they talk about, like, a racist, like, thing happening where
Yeah.
it is like some guy, just a bunch of guys in the back of the truck roll up.
Yeah.
To me, it was just, that was part of it that was just so, like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough, like, my heart goes out to that family and to any family that's ever had to deal with this.
Yeah.
Losing somebody is hard enough, but
Yeah.
then losing somebody in a senseless act
Yeah.
is even worse.
So I don't leave my house without a firearm.
Yeah.
Got one right
Which-
here.
And that's fine.
But like I said,
How many times have you thought about shooting
Zero.
somebody?
0. Which, I mean, that doesn't even matter. You've got to take. It's the same as, like, killing people with guns. We don't need guns. Well, no, but that's saying you go buy, like, let's say you go buy a big gooseneck trailer, and you've never done it before, and you just
Yeah.
take off on the highway going 80.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
You're not trained
You
to
need
do
gun
that.
safety classes.
Yeah.
You need, yeah.
If you're gonna walk around with a gun on your hip or whatever,
yeah.
know how to use it. Don't
Yeah.
just think you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there is none of that in the process of.
No,
Getting a
that
gun.
doesn't seem. Yeah, but the dude was a retired police officer.
Yeah.
You don't know how to approach a possible suspect.
Well, and so a point that you made earlier about how is this thing still, like, how is this type thing still going on? If you haven't read the book Just Mercy by this Brian, I can't remember his last name, but so
They just made a movie about it.
yeah. And so it's a
Is that the
lawyer
one-
in
okay, yeah.
Alabama who he deals with primarily death row cases of people who don't have enough money to cover the cost of a lawyer. And whenever I read that book, to me, it was very eye-opening. And this was like 2 years ago. Because to me, I don't consider myself a racist or anything like that. By any means, but after I read that book, a lot of the mentalities that I had before I read that book were squashed. Like, I think it was up until, and this is stuff that in my head it was like this happened so long ago,
Right.
but up until like I think it was 93 or 96, it was still illegal in the state of Alabama for a black man to marry a white woman, or like interracial marriage.
Yeah.
That's not that long ago. I was alive when that happened. Like, granted, they probably weren't like
You gotta watch-
adhering to that,
Right.
but at the same time, the fact that it was still a law
Yeah.
up until that moment speaks so much that like I just was uneducated
Yeah.
in that moment, that like, yeah, this stuff is still going on
Yeah.
fairly regularly.
So, one thing with that, not that that's not accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama has the longest, most amended
Yeah.
state constitution, or whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
of any state.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, a lot of times they'll just amend over the top of something, like spackling something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that kind of stuff in that, like, that's what it could
It
could
have
very
been
well
an
just be a
amendment
big
in there.
oversight
Yeah.
that it got buried under some amendments, and
Yeah.
then it's cool to go look that up, and it's shocking, but
Yeah.
it's not it's not like what we're doing.
Yeah. But still, the fact that it
But
was,
yes,
I
like
mean,
I said,
you at some point there's somebody in the
Yeah.
state that knows that information on hand. Like,
Yeah.
that's their job.
yeah,
And for that to have gone on that long, and then like just some of the stories in the book that you read about, like the main character in the book, or one of the main cases in the book, where the guy had multiple eyewitnesses that said he wasn't even anywhere near.
yeah.
Like, he was with family and friends, and people were coming in and out of the house when
Rock
the
solid
shooting
alibi.
occurred,
Yeah,
and he still was on death row.
yeah,
And it's just like,
This is the Jamie Foxx.
yeah, the Jamie Foxx character in the movie.
Yeah, okay.
But the book was fantastic if you haven't read it.
yeah.
But anyways,
It's crazy.
I think it's safe to say that all of our opinions on this are like, these two dudes were not justified in any manner, and you kind of understand now a little bit better when some of this stuff happens.
yeah.
that-
Regardless of which side you're on, I would tend to, with all the ones that have happened, I've tended to side with the police.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a video, and it sucks. Nobody.
Yeah.
You don't want to shoot people, regardless of if you're a cop or what color. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But with most of these that have started these big movements in the U.S. over the past couple of years, most of these seem somewhat, if not all, justified on the police's side of it. But seeing this one this week or last week, if that's how African Americans tend to feel when any of this stuff kind of happens, well, I understand, like, Black Lives Matter and all that stuff now. Even if it's correct or not,
Yeah.
if that's the mindset from all those,
You get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this kind of situation is setting back the whole
Oh, yeah.
right portion
Right.
of this whole thing back
Yeah.
tremendously.
Yeah.
For everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that it happened.
Yeah.
In any regard.
Yeah.
But,
You got to like or dislike somebody individually.
yeah.
It's got to be a
Yeah, it's an individual
in
case
person
by case basis.
Yes, you can't just have some sweeping
Man,
declaration.
it's ridiculous that notion is even still around, though.
Yeah.
That like we're literally no different.
Yeah.
It was just when everybody was coming from Europe or the Middle East or whatever, they spread out,
Yeah.
and then based on location, they started to have evolutionary
Stuff
qualities.
changed. Yeah.
Things
there's
changed.
climate differences and
Yeah,
areas of it.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
Europeans were
Microevolution.
lighter
Yeah.
complexion.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy that people still think that there is a superior
Right.
of any of those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it's ridiculous in this day and age that that's still happening. But
Yeah.
it shows how many uneducated people there are. And
Well, we said it before. I'll never stop saying it. Literally, by the way it's set up, half of the country is below average IQ.
yeah,
because they changed the median
curve every year.
They change the curve every couple of years to where it's half and half. So literally, 1 out of every 2 people you see is
below
under
average.
average intelligence. Well, yeah, no wonder this stuff still happens.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just felt like we had to talk about that at
Yeah.
least. And we're conservative white guys in the South.
Mm-hmm.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
That's the kind of thing that saddens me
Hmm.
when I'm thinking about, because even in my family, I mean, my grandparents, and they grew up in a different generation, and
Yeah.
they have different mindsets than I do, and it saddens me to hear them say some of the things they do sometimes.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they would never.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
never do this kind of thing, and it saddens me to see that this kind of stuff still goes on.
It's the same with like Christianity and believers. When like a big profile pastor somewhere
Yeah.
does something terrible, and then
It's just like I can't believe.
dude, you're making this
Yeah.
way harder for regular Christians
Yeah.
to make more Christians
Yeah.
when, and so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
gosh.
So, change gears a little bit.
Yeah, can we laugh about something?
Yeah. Heath, you got any funny firefighting stories or cool firefighting stories or?
I have a couple.
All right, let's get into them then.
Sure.
Or you said you had some stuff at the beginning too that you were like, I want to ask this question. If any of those are more lighthearted than
They are.
okay,
Let
let's
me
do
tell, let me tell my firefighting story
okay.
first.
Let's tell
Okay.
your firefighting
And
story.
we'll get on that for a second.
Yeah.
And then I have an interesting question
Okay.
based on some stuff y'all were talking about
Mm-hmm.
last week.
Okay,
But the firefighting story,
I'm
I'll just
nervous.
tell the one.
Nervous now.
the collapse.
The collapse.
Yeah.
This is my firefighting collapse story. So you train in firefighting school to have to deal with these certain situations where, with a potential situation where you're going to be trapped in a burning building and
No thanks.
you're going to have to radio out for a mayday and give somebody information to come
Yeah,
get you. And it's weeks of training and months of this stuff drilled into your head that you think you're never going to
gonna have
use.
to use it. Yeah,
And I'll preface this whole story by saying it is incredible how quickly your mind can go through so many different scenarios in just an instant when something like this happens. And I can't remember where I put my keys when I'm trying to leave to go to work
yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
So where
But
is
you went through
how can the brain be so powerful at some moments
fight or flight, man.
and
Yeah.
maybe so dumb at others? But a few months ago, when it was still cold, we had a structure fire that happened on a Sunday afternoon when everybody was at church, and the homeowner had set up some heat lamps on the back porch for their dogs.
Yeah,
And if it wasn't for the neighbor working midnights at a local plant, B.F. Goodrich, which if you're local, you'll know that. But so they were coming home from working nights and saw the house was on fire and called us. So by the time we got there, the thing's pretty much a lost cause, but everybody still wants to have fun and go in and do their firefighting thing.
Yeah.
And it's almost more fun at the moment of those because it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to mess anything up. The house is lost anyway.
yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah.
in this situation, we're going in. It's me and my crew, and my officer tells me to pull the line off the truck and stand by the door and wait on him because we're the first engine in. So there's nobody else there. It's just us. And I go in, and we're putting everything out. By this time, another engine has come in and set up, and they're coming in as well. And we've kind of got the thing put out for the most part of what we can before we start, trying to get into the attic space. And so we all kind of meet back up in the living room of this house, which is, just a lost cause, really.
Yeah.
But it's no fun to sit outside and fight fire. You want to get inside to do all the work. And we're standing there in the living room, and the living room ceiling just cracks and shifts a little bit.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, all right, hopefully that's it. And before I can get that thought out, the whole thing falls in on us.
Mm.
And that's when, in that moment, all of that stuff went through my head like, oh my gosh, where am I in the house? How am I going to call my Mayday? Tell them what I need.
Yeah.
Where am I at? I saw flames when the ceiling collapsed. So there's going to be burning stuff on top of me. This is going to suck. And it hit me in the head and knocked my helmet off. And I just braced for impact. And after all that, I opened my eyes and I was standing in the living room. And it had fallen to where
the sheetrock?
the sheetrock of the ceiling had fallen to where I was in between two ceiling joists.
Oof.
So
Oh, wow.
it just crumbled around me and just had knocked my helmet off. But that
So
is the
none
only
of the other
time.
like ceiling. Was it just the sheetrock that fell, or was it the
No, it was
the joist
it
and
was
everything?
the joist and the ceiling.
Wow, that's freaking lucky,
But it
man.
just fell right in between.
That's
and
lucky.
I've never been so scared in my life.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm big bad, which I'm not big, but I'm a bad fireman.
Yeah.
If I did get trapped, I could get myself out. But
Yeah.
I've never been so scared.
Yeah,
And
I get
then
that.
I know you can relate to this.
Yeah.
If I ever get a fire of any kind and have a great time, which I always do, I call my wife afterward, or the next morning I'll tell her about
Yeah.
it if it's at night.
So excited about it.
And I'm so excited. And the first thing she says is, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?"
Well, yeah.
Be happy for
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
If I wasn't okay, you'd have
Yeah.
heard about it by
We
now.
had it. Yeah, we had a. So this is kind of a funny one. Is so Meg called me one night when I was working, and as she was calling me, we were responding to a shooting. So I'm trying to be quick because we're in the truck. Don't know how long it's going to take to get there. Probably going to be just a second. So she calls me. Apparently, then just sets her phone on the counter or whatever and goes back to bed. But I texted her. I said there was a shooting. I said I'm okay. Headed to the hospital. And
All she saw was hospital shooting.
she called me
Yeah.
the next morning when she woke up. Oh my gosh, are you okay? Okay, first of all, I said I'm okay in the text message. Didn't say I was shot. Said there was a shooting. But like she's freaking out like, yeah,
That
are
would
you
be
okay?
super pertinent information. in
Yeah,
that
I
text
wouldn't have
message.
just texted you either.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a call. I'm going to follow up with another text. If you didn't answer my phone call, somebody's probably coming to your house to say, hey, Josh has been shot. But I've had sheetrock fall before because whenever you're in there and you start wetting it down,
It gets
that
heavy,
sheetrock gets heavy and then the sheetrock will
It's like a
fall down.
sponge, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, and I mean, in that moment, I was staring at a window, and there's a battalion chief on the outside, and I was talking to the battalion chief, and the battalion chief was more scared. Everything, like it was the whole kitchen, all the kitchen sheetrock fell at the same time. He goes, "Whoa, what was that?" It's like, "Oh, it's just the roof, man. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
But
Y'all
yeah,
do
that's
that for a living. That's ridiculous.
Hey, and so I'll say this: the longer that I'm in this career, the more times I think about that,
Yeah.
and try and just push it out of my head of that type of situation. Because the more times you hear about guys that you know that are in those situations, like when you're going through school, it's like this is never going to happen to me. And then the longer you're in the career, the more people that you hear of having a situation like that.
And the way things are built nowadays, they do not.
Yeah,
They're not structurally sound like they
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to be, and so
Exactly.
they crumble way quicker.
yeah,
But
yeah. Fire. There's
Well, that wasn't funny.
But we're glad you're here.
My gosh.
Yeah. But that was
A
that
couple months ago.
interesting.
Yeah, that was a very
interesting
interesting
moment in my
Yeah.
career where it
Yeah.
did make me think about a lot of things. But
Well, yeah.
to
Did
lighten
you-
it back up.
Did you go through lunars in your head?
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I thought about all that.
I don't know
stuff.
what any of this stuff is.
So
either. Don't
lunars,
worry about it.
if you are in a structural collapse or you're caught or you're in a bad spot, you're supposed to go through. It's an acronym: lunars, location, unit, name, air, resources. So where you're at in the house,
I got you.
your
what your assignment was. And
your assignment. So what were you doing before this happened? Location.
what crew were you part of?
What crew you were a part of, what your name is, do you need anything to get yourself out? because you're not supposed to call when you just there's nothing else you can do. You're supposed to call before that moment to like say, hey, this happened. I'm trying to get myself out of it. But if I can't get myself out of it, I might need another crew to come in with an axe or something like that. But yeah, you're like in that moment, like as soon as that ceiling falls on you, you call, hey.
I'm sure y'all's radio system is the same way at Tuscaloosa, but we have a Mayday button on our radios that when you hit it, it shuts down all radio communication
other than your signal,
and then you can put out your Mayday. And if that were to ever actually happen on a fire, it's never happened to me where there was an actual Mayday going on. But that would be an ominous sound.
Yeah.
Hearing that.
Yeah. For sure.
That Mayday tone come over. But
so lighter topic.
Yeah.
Something.
No.
We're going to go home depressed tonight.
Man.
I can't remember the exact topic of conversation, but I kept thinking, I think you were saying, would you rather see a spider or a lion?
Oh,
or something like that.
Yeah. And
so then that made me think, man, if you were to face something that would be deadly to you in just, I mean, we'll say just for the sake of this scenario, you got a knife, okay? You are locked in a 10 by 10 room with a lion, and you've got a knife. Or you are locked in a 10 by 10 aquarium with a lion equivalent of a shark, let's say a great white.
Whatever, yeah.
What situation would you rather be in? And I'll start.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like I would rather be with the shark.
Absolutely.
Because it don't matter if I have a rifle or a shotgun or any kind of gun. Yeah. That lion is probably still going to kill me.
Oh, absolutely. You could have
you going to outswim the shark?
No, but its attack is one direction.
Yeah. And so a shark has to come too. I think they're normally.
If it's a great white hitting a seal on the top, if I'm in an aquarium, that means you're mid water, and it's just coming
also,
at you.
If you're in a 10 by 10, there's not a lot of a shark can't like.
That's true.
Whip around real fast.
Yeah.
So I can always know where it's coming from.
That's about half the size of this room, just roughly.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Actually, I think it's less than that.
So, I mean, that's not a lot of space.
That's not a lot of space for a great white to just be
and
like
that shark
around.
would kill you. I mean, I'm sorry, that lion would kill you
jump
so
on
quick.
top of you, you're done.
So quick. It'd be like that scene out of The Revenant with Leo, but way worse.
Where he lived.
Way quicker.
Yeah.
It'd actually kill you. But with a shark, I feel like if I had a knife,
a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I've seen The Revenant.
Okay, you're just looking like
I'm just still trying to figure out why y'all would want to get in a tank with a shark.
I feel like if I was in a tank
was it
with
said
a shark,
you wouldn't want to play an away game?
Yeah. What are y'all talking about?
I could get into a position where maybe like, let's say I give it my arm, right? And so it bites my arm, but then I can take that knife and
all right,
just start
Aquaman.
jabbing it.
So you got a Bowie knife.
Sure.
In both scenarios. We're talking about the animal is, if I don't eat you, I'm going to die. Starvation.
Well, I think...
But it's the same. It's the same. Yeah.
I don't think you could tell the animal that, but...
Well, you also couldn't put a great white shark in a 10 by 10 with me in it either. So, but hypothetically,
in this hypothetical situation, it's hungry.
Somehow the animal knows if I don't kill you, I'm dying. Okay. Same knife, both situations. Yep. And there's no running from it. It's one of you's dead.
It's a 10 by 10.
One of you's dead.
Yeah.
Now, I'll admit, just the smallest fraction of a percent chance that I would kill the lion, but it is 0% chance I'm about to outswim and fight a shark.
You're definitely not
going to outswim. The thing is there's not a lot of swimming going on. Yeah. You're in a 10 by 10.
And let's say in this scenario, you're not having to worry about drowning.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not worried about that either.
Okay.
To me,
y'all know me. I'm sturdy.
I'm getting that shark right in the eyeball first shot.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I'm trying.
I just feel like
I'm no Crocodile Dundee, but I think I can get it done.
My Hail Mary has a much better chance of landing on a shark than it does.
And underwater, if you hit them in the nose, they don't like that. It's not going to kill them.
We've already established its job to eat you right now.
Yeah, but if you kick me in the nuts and it's my job to kill you, I'm still gonna be hurt. Like
Okay.
I'm not.
That's true.
So I just think y'all are underestimating how hard it would be to fight underwater.
I'm not underestimating anything.
I think you
Both
are.
situations suck.
I'm
I
not
think
getting
I
out
stand
of
a better chance.
I'm not getting out of either.
I don't think I'm getting out of either, but I have a higher, like you were saying, a sliver of a percentage that, I mean, this is going up as a poll for sure. Would you rather fight?
If you said the animals were we've said like the equivalent, the animals are the same.
Yeah.
They're different animals, but every stat, every whatever size,
Yeah.
Just that,
they're comparable.
you're not giving the animal something they don't already
Think
have.
about a gorilla.
But okay, so we're going
Like a tiger
tank on
has,
dirt.
Or
why would you think it'd be easier to kill a shark underwater?
a shark's weapons are so much less.
Also, maybe I could like free willy for a second, like swim really hard to the top and come out, and then I'm there for longer at least. I've lasted longer.
Okay, so you get to be scared a little bit longer than me and did die anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. If that's your plan.
Well, let me ask you this. Is there a scenario that you could imagine where you are able to kill that lion before it kills you?
1 in a billion, but yeah.
Now, do you think you have a less chance of killing the shark before it kills you?
Yes.
And Heath is stumped.
No, I think I'm like
I'm
not
thinking
even
of it
kidding.
like this.
I like my chances.
That's fine. I'm thinking of it like this. Me, both feet on the ground. It's a home game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough one,
Yeah.
but I know how to work with dirt.
I hear you.
Better than swimming.
I hear you.
You ever tried to climb into a boat from the water? You know
I'm
how
not
hard that'd
trying to
be?
climb into a
We're going to
boat.
fight a shark.
I'm going to stay in the water. If it was a
I'm just talking about how awkward, literally, the only skill I would have to possibly kill this lion is being like sturdy and can act.
Well, and that might be
and
part
you're
of
going
the,
to take that away
that,
from me?
That might be
To-
part
for
of
the
the
other one?
reason.
Okay,
Me and
duh.
Heath aren't very sturdy,
yeah.
Well,
as
that's
you would
fine.
say.
Now here's what I'm thinking. In my situation is I'm backing myself up into the corner of this
Oh,
tank.
there ain't no way I'm backing myself into a corner.
Yes.
You going
And then
olay the
as-
shark?
Yes, as the shark that comes to attack,
Them things are slick.
I'm kicking.
Slide off the side of him.
I'm kicking off the wall, and trying to get around to the side of him.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant I'm kicking straight forward.
no,
It's
no,
like,
no, no. I'm
that's
gonna
a
wait to
game
see
over right
which
there,
direction
buddy.
he's coming at
I
me,
don't
and I'm
think
kicking.
you. Do you know how big a 10 by 10 is?
It's pretty small.
It's not.
There.
Yeah, it's right there at the end of that table.
You ain't
Yeah.
juking. You couldn't juke a sloth.
well, how quickly
from
can
that-
he turn around after I kicked off the wall?
Fast enough.
I mean, faster than me probably, but
Yeah. I just think I'm going to die either way, but you're going to take all of any kind of skill I might have on land. Well, now that's way less.
I'm going shark.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm still
That's
going
all
shark.
good.
If orangutan is put into the mix,
An orangutan.
nobody's living.
Well, it's
it
a
could
gorilla.
Be, it could be a gorilla in
Yeah.
the
Orangutan.
water.
Orangutans could do the same thing. They could rip your face off.
They'll eat it.
Man.
They'll eat your face
Yeah.
like they did that woman.
Exactly.
That was a chimpanzee
yeah.
or a gorilla.
Either way, monkey. It's going.
Yeah.
I believe they like to be preferred as primates.
I
Referred
wouldn't
to
want
as
to be
primates.
locked
So,
in a
just-
10 by 10 with a little monkey that was trying to kill me.
Oh yeah, no, them things are fierce.
Oh, a chimpanzee, it'd peel you like a
yeah,
banana.
exactly.
I ain't doing
Them
that.
things is rough.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's
Yeah.
about all the time we got.
Yeah.
We're going a little. I don't know how much of that beep's getting cut and stuff, but
That's all good. Man.
Yeah, we.
Is
Heath,
there
we
anything you
appreciate-
didn't talk about that you wish we had? One more thing.
No.
Okay,
That's all we needed to hear.
that's good.
All right.
That's
I
good.
mean, there's things I could talk about, but
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
That'll be another
Good.
podcast
Yeah.
episode then.
Well, on that note, glad
Yeah.
to have you. Thanks
Glad
for
to
coming
have you.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for showing up.
Guest
and-
number 2.
I appreciate
Episode
y'all
number
inviting
8.
me.
Yeah, this is the first PM or after dark. We'll
Yeah.
say that. This is the first after dark
late
episode.
night.
It was working
Yeah, I
class.
feel like
folk.
we're Howard Stern
Yeah.
or something.
The coronavirus hadn't slowed me down from working. I'm still doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're out there, send us a voicemail, send us a video.
Take the polls.
take the polls, leave a comment, subscribe,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff.
Leave us more good reviews.
Yeah, some more. I just thought that one was
I feel
funny.
like I have to leave a really positive
a review on
about
this
one
episode
in particular.
Yeah.
We
I would
appreciate
agree
it.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And give us topics.
Yeah,
Me and
give us
Josh run out of
topics.
stuff to talk about. Not really.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
no,
no, not really.
that ain't
But
happening anytime soon.
we got to keep our ear to the ground though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta know
Anything
what's
you
going
want us
on.
to talk
Yeah.
about, we'll talk about it.
But
Unless we don't like it, and then we won't talk about it.
awesome.
Yeah.
There we
Guys,
go.
I had a blast.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Friday.
See y'all later.